Order for Ghana has say your court system no. Just say aye dindindi aye butu in some okoso e Ghana has say your court. You know be man waba bontin na chese. Mo money deportees for now. Ye do mo ba Ghana has say from US. Chese omo lawyer kese pan ene Oliver Bakavomabo. Ono na waba bontin a wabe bone numu tuo anase wabe tu numu tuo de nsema hodo wabe to abontin o si Ghana ye court system ne de enkoyie pa enkoyie osoko US memu a omo system no just say deportees for na yesane omo nyina ba Ghana ha sei no omo nyina omo din wo system just say omaye bibie puti bibia in place na be ya omo system bibia ye adwuma enti even court sem kra no judge ni kra to meet na ne fie you must a video call na de kra na chese meetings ahodo na ekoso na court sem na de nyina ekoso o say omo systems no anasa America systems no bibia is in place bibia is in order to the extent say judge kra na fie kra na otumi edi nkita ho e wo courtroom na de bibia koso yi ba oba Ghana asi bia niam nkoso yi kaka ono na o defendi deportees for now omo ye de omo ba Ghana asi na oyo omo lawyer no just say kwanya ye de omo fa so anakwan ye de ne fa so e wo Ghana asi ni de enkoyi kra enti new chief justice no ayepo bafo boni no o make sure say sa 1 year na 2 years aka na dan anim no o make sure say put niam in place or for just say when ye sema aye de ja e wo Ghana asi ya amafo bebre na kan mo so mi na bre e wo Ghana to mo anko ye kwanya sanse mo nyina chem e wo Ghana to niam isia
point of view and who is interested in constitutional reform. When we come to the superior courts, high court, court of appeal, Supreme Court, there's no promotion within that court structure. Every appointment is a fresh appointment. So if you're a high court judge and you're appointed to the court of appeal, you have not been promoted to the court of appeal. You have been appointed to the court of appeal. So it's a different process. Now, who makes the appointment? The ultimate backstops are the presidency. The Judicial Council can get involved and make recommendations. That's fine. But the truth is that the Supreme Court itself has recognized in GBA as Attorney General that the ultimate decision is the president who makes it. Mm-hmm. When the president decided that he was not going to appoint Bensa Bonsu and appointed Puamang, he made that decision on his own without whatever recommendations we have given to him. So the truth is, the considerations that go into why the president will make that decision, presuming that you have met the basic constitutional qualification, that you have integrity and you have made 15 years at the bar, that decision is unimpeachable. If the president can do it for whatever reasons, he can do it as to whether or not he perceives your line of thinking and reasoning to be opposed to his political philosophy and for which reason he wants dissent on the bench, he can do that. If he thinks that, looking at how your judicial thinking is, we are more comfortable with you, he's entitled to do that. The former Supreme Court Justice Tuguba has made it clear that, but this is exactly what we want, that the president is making a decision. So anybody who is appointed, we must presume that this is somebody that the party and the presidency is comfortable with. And we must live with that choice that we have made, or we must reform it. So that's kind of my thinking around this. But that does not discount the fact that, Chief Justice, potential Chief Justice Bafoboni is stepping into a role in which, from at least the little we have said here, we can tell that there's so much problems within the judicial system. It is not fit for purpose in delivering the justice that we require. It is not. In nowhere close. Even, and I have talked about even the corruption within the judicial service itself. One of the things when I started the law firm was that I told my staff, we're not going to pay any bailiff to go and serve a process. Then it means that my clients will all leave me. Because none of your processes will be served. We're routinely paying people to go and serve a process for you. That is unconscionable.
After paying legal fees.
It's unconscionable. Now, to determine whether or not somebody has filed something, you have to write a letter, you have to go to the registry, go and pay, search, wait for days, to determine whether or not the person has even entered appearance. How can I not have a system when I say that, okay, this is there, the person has already entered appearance? So, there's so much...
The system is there, they are not using it.
It is such a system that I don't understand what we have created. I don't get it. So the job for...
Leave it and come and teach.
Somebody should fix it.
I don't get it.
Somebody should come and fix it.
So there's so much problems across board that only a reform-minded Chief Justice can get us where we need to go. He has a few years when he comes in to be able to take us there. And by some strange reason of coincidence, he is head of our judiciary and his wife is head of the prison service. These are key institutions in our criminal and our justice system. So how they plan reform from home and come and deliver it to the public. They have to figure out how we get it. But because we are in such let's not mince words about it. We are in a mess. It's a complete mess. So many of the problems we have, our ability to restrict public officers, our ability to get the executive to conform, a lot of it deals with our inability to get anything done with the court system.
Yeah.
Nothing.
The whole country down.
I'll give you an example. I have been representing individuals that were deported from the US. Okay. In the US system, the names of these individuals is a way in which you can anonymize it. We don't have any of that procedure here. You must disclose who the applicant is. Yeah. To file a lawsuit, you must disclose your private residential address. What is the privacy concerns around that? When you have an emergency application that you are supposed to make, and when I say emergency, not every emergency must be ex parte. Sometimes it must be on notice. You have to be able to file it for the agents to respond. The US, they have it. Yeah. Everybody is responding immediately. The judge can take it by video in their home, whatever. We don't have any process. This is why the police can wait. When we have notified them for 3 months to go on a protest, the night before they go and file a process, and you tell me that you must wait for another 3 days to go. It's a mess across board. So I don't know who is like, there's no design thinking, systems thinking in terms of how we administer the judiciary. And then when there's no justice, then we all come and complain, and we go and vote again. And new people will come to tell us to give us the same thing. But the system's element stays the same. And nothing is going anywhere. So for me, those are the critical things I want the Chief Justice to be judged on. And hopefully we see real momentum on that, you know?
Mm-hmm. And that's a system is inheriting. But then again, how many years does he have to stay as Chief Justice?
Oh, a lot can be done in a year. A lot can be done in reforms in a year.
Next year.
You know,
That's a little over a year.
A lot can be done in terms of reform.
Let's be clear, not much can be done in this country in 1 year trying to move around a ship like the judicial service. It is not difficult, it's not equal to impossible. All right? If they get a crazy guy in that place, he will insist that in 6 months, that multi-million-dollar IT system that we have put in place be used. Some of the things Oliver is saying, they sound crazy, but there's no reason why we don't have it. Look, we had to even amend our LI, okay, to allow electronic service. I have been saying for at least 5 years now that there should be a system by which once a lawyer gets onto the file, that lawyer will be served by email. And the system we have now, it is possible for you to be able to check these things in your office. They simply won't use it. The problem in our judicial system is the judicial service. It's not just even the judges and the lawyers. The service, like you said, the bailiffs. You pay filing fees, you still have to pay a bailiff, then you have to follow up. You want to do a simple search, and it's a mess. Something that you should be able to do on a computer. We can go on and on and on and on. But my point is, it will take strong men standing up, and this is not a matter of law, it's a matter of administration, okay, and executive management, to say that, look, this system must work because we've spent the money on it. Look, for instance, transcription. We spent money on microphones, equipment, and all those things. Simple maintenance, okay? In a short while, in a matter of months, they were all shoved aside. We go to court, we stand there, and you should be speaking while somebody is typing. The person who is typing is not the lawyer. Sometimes you use legal terms, and you have to repeat it 2, 3, 4 times. It's not their fault. Okay, that thing even messes with your mind. All right, there's no reason why it should be so. When today there is very cheap software, in fact, some of it can be on your phone. By the time you finish AI, it will summarize, give you all the key points and everything. Years ago, outside, I'll mention, you go to court today, all right, in 24 hours, you receive in your email the full record of the previous court section. There's no reason why we can't have it here today. All right, so those are system issues, and I think they can be dealt with. On the substantive issue of the appointment of the new Chief Justice, look, there is no lawyer who knows what he's talking about who will deny that Justice Bafoboni is extremely experienced and competent for the job. There's no problem there. Okay, really, my only issue really is that for somebody who has paid his dues this much, his ascent to that place should be glorious. I think that there is a cloud, it's an unfair cloud around it because of the issues around CJ Tokono. Okay, and the point is, you know, we sat here and we spoke about the fact, look, the president has the power under our constitution to remove the CJ. Last week, I think Lawyer Digi sat here and said, somebody said the easiest person to remove in this Republic is the Chief Justice because they take a position and the president likes it. Okay. We should fix those things, but that's the law. The point is, CJ Tokono, I've seen a press statement, I think from her lawyers, saying that the procedures are not being followed. She has the right to appeal. She has the right to challenge some of the decisions. She has the right to some of the documentation. She has the right to some reports. She has the right to, certain things. Give it to me. Let me know what to do. Let me exhaust, the remedies available to me. And she's screaming and shouting from a certain place, and it looks like nobody's listening to her. It casts a shade over this Chief Justice's ascent to the table. And my view is that for a man like that, there should be no such cloud hanging over him. Why can't we just deal with the issues concerning CJ Tokono? All right? She's claiming there are procedural breaches and issues concerning her removal. Let's resolve them and let this man who has earned his place ascend to that place gloriously. So one, I have absolute respect for Justice Bafomoni. He's been there all these years. Who has heard anything about him? All right. And like people are saying, sometimes you expect him to go this way, he'll go that way, not go. And I think he merits that position. In fact, it's a shame that he has so little time left. And these reforms and things, I would have been happy to help him to do it, for instance. But he has this little time. I think.
Order for when you're breaking news about to dry see Ghana ha judicial system in the enko kra. I was said by the see an AI. Abba den just unyan type adika krebi nana AI mo information be just see Ghana hano the judicial system no or see a word need to say you use AI no and as you use other softwares which me aboy or the for you see Ghana has here the judicial system the I am a whole messed up. Oh, you share that yourself. Bibia ayesika. Oh, fast here. I say, what is sika era? What to call the next step? What is sika? Bibia ayesika. Abra systems are softwares now. They will hold no more. I was seeing paying for no to me back. No more the banner to see Ghana for you to me use need to use system. No, when you type here, the na system information in aba. No more the aye. And you bibia na. I was saying you caught in a courtroom. Na just here and ebu hold no more. Ubet me video call na de cost system no cost video call na judge no so na bibia just bibia I kama I will say you adopting a new system softwares na the same America for ne other developed countries or you you see you to me a ye bi na ye ne de the judicial system ne de aye a whole mess that order for we any breaking news about to jam is beginning in bro I will Ghanatube for mama if you somebody like him now subscribe and share my notification bell so my say the bear bring here be drop content say wo we can temper watch we tell mother for aha and I made in 7 na be see Ghanatube so makram na madam na speak